Okay, good evening, everybody. Guten Abend zusammen. Hope you're all doing well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Marc Shuttle, and I am the head of video here at wXw in Germany. Thank you very much for joining us. Please say hi in the comments. I'd love to hear from all of you, and please let me know where in the world you are joining us from here this evening. But it's not just going to be me here tonight. Thankfully, I think you'd all get pretty sick of me pretty quickly. I have my, as always, broadcast partner here, Marc Mett Dimassi.
Mulberg!
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm feeling the Easter ride, season to be jolly, tra la 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 la, and all the stuff that comes with it.
I mean, I think you've got some of your holidays a little bit confused there, my friend.
16 karat gold scrambled my brain. I'm sorry. I told you on the last stream before Carat that you guys are gonna scramble my brain, and you guys scrambled my damn brain.
I'm sure we did. I am sure that we did. How have you been since 16 karat? Like, that was a long, exhausting weekend for everybody involved. It was an amazing weekend, and we'll talk a bit more about the weekend itself shortly. But how have you been since 16 karat?
I've been good. I mean, you've already heard of my my real life not stresses, but you going through the motions again after 16 karat gold. But it's kind of crazy after, because it was my first 16 karat gold weekend, and oh boy, I was not ready. My body definitely needed a week or two break after that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. I didn't really get a day off in March. I think I got kind of one day off in the whole month where I slept mainly. But I've been catching up with a few days off here in April, which has been nice. But hi, everyone. Once again, hi to everyone in the chat. Hi, Sebastian. Hi, Dan. Hope you're all doing well. Matt, we have a lot to cover here this evening, right?
I mean, a whole month and about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 27 shows.
I mean, at times it felt like 27 shows, but I do believe in actual fact it was 9 events, 7 over the course of 16 karat weekend, and a further 2 in the weeks that followed. So, ladies and gents, we're going to try and get through this as quickly as possible. But at the same time, we're going to try not to skip over anything important because so much big, crazy, huge, important stuff happened. So let's get started. The very first event that we had on the 9th of March, which seems almost like a lifetime ago now. We were at the wXw Academy at Fight Club Gelsenkirchen for wXw Inner Circle 13. Matt, your thoughts about Inner Circle?
I mean, Inner Circle is always a very intimate event. It's just one of those events that you have to be there live. So any of you watching this who weren't there live, next Inner Circle event, definitely be there. We saw, like, it's always like that beautiful appetizer, that little lemony flavor that gets you right into that main course of whatever it is, whether it's 16 karat gold or World Tag Team Festival. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really interesting way to describe it. But okay, so for those of you who don't know Inner Circle, it's a show where we announced nothing in advance. This was a surprise to everybody who tuned in. And as Dan says here, it was an intimate show and very hot with some hot action. It really was. So quick results. In our opener, Peter Tahani beat Anil Marek. Another disappointing loss for Anil, who actually comes so close several times in the course of this contest.
I mean, amazingly enough, it wasn't even the low light for Anil over that weekend, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah, very true. Massimo Pesca beat Alex Duke. Mike DiVecchio beat Jaden Lewin. The very first time that so many of us set our eyes on Mike D that weekend. And wow, if I was to pick just one word to describe Mike D, intensity.
I'd pick 3 words, in fact.
Okay, please share.
Number 1 contender.
You're skipping ahead again, mate. You're skipping ahead.
I like skipping ahead. It's fun.
We got so much to cover. Ease. We're going to ease into this.
All right. I'll take it easy.
Awesome. Okay. We also had 6-person tag team action as the team of Ava Everett, Jacob Crane, and Yuval Goldschmidt beat Becca, Danny Frey, and Psycho Mike in a match which, correct me if I'm wrong here, featured 0 body slams.
I mean, that was a shock. That was probably the biggest shock of the entire match.
Yeah. Jacob Crane somehow able to escape without taking a single body slam in that contest. We're not sure how, but we'll talk more about Jacob Crane as our live stream progresses here. And as Dan says here, Mike D has made a huge impact. Really has. Super impressive weekend. Our next match, Shigehiro Irie beat Ilya Bloom in what was, for me, maybe like my highlight of this entire show.
I have to agree. I mean, it's not just because I'm repping that Ilya Bloom shirt right here, but like that match was incredible and just such a good display from Ilya to not only match up to Shigehiro Irie, but you know, to hold his own for as long as he did, because that match, you know, you had those 1 or 2 moments where you might have thought he might have stolen a victory there, but you know, Shigehiro Irie still managed to pick up the win. But definitely, like, possibly my vote for match of the night.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. But it was followed up by another banger as Thomas Shire went up against Gulyash Jr. 2 big heavyweights, just bringing it in a hard-hitting heavyweight contest.
I don't know if you can call it a banger. Those 2 guys are big. They hit hard. It's more of a clonker or a bonker. It wasn't a banger. It was a clonker.
I mean, in British English, a bonker is a very different thing. But let's skip over that. As Dan said, Hire Shire, such a great guy. He really is a great wrestler, and someone we'll talk about again as we progress here this evening. Tristan Archer also went up against Vaughn Vertigo. Another exciting contest there.
I mean, as respectful as ever and as classy as ever, Tristan Archer, but at the end of the day, he still manages to pick up the win against Vaughn Vertigo, who has been pretty incredible lately. Especially, you know, we think back to the wXw versus Smash event where he had an incredible match against Axel Tischer. So definitely a great match to have on that evening as well, and a nice big surprise.
Yeah, an incredible surprise. But the main event, which is a very close second to me for match of the evening, Fuminori Abe wrestling Adam Priest, getting the better of Adam Priest there. And it was the first time, again, that we had seen Adam Priest, the Action Wrestling Champion, making his first trip to Europe, I believe. And he, again, held his own really well in this contest.
Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide. Is the man, you know, he's a big fan of Alabama football, but henceforth Roll Tide for those of you who don't know maybe the reference. But Adam Priest it's just over the weekend you saw just how much quality is in Adam Priest and in action wrestling in general, because that is their champion. And I definitely hope we get to see Priest and more people from action wrestling over for big events or small events or whenever we can get them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's not because also not to just jump over it, but Jaden Newman also had an incredible weekend over 16 Carat Gold. He also competed on multiple other events as well. So Jaden Newman, Adam Priest, 2 great names that we had over the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a really fun show. I didn't actually get to see it live, as is sadly become a tradition for Inner Circle for me. I'm having to be sitting outside doing other work. But great to watch that one back here on wXwNOW 2.0. If you haven't seen the show, you can see it. It's available in full in both English and German. Just hit that join or what's the German for it? Mitglied Werden button below this video. €9.99 per month. You won't regret it.
I feel like you're expecting. I definitely. I mean, what do you want me to say? You guys just heard that was just the appetizer that we just talked about. Yeah, go
Yeah, that really was just the appetizer. So let's move on then. We're going to move on to what was exactly 1 month ago now, the 10th of March, night 1 of wXw 16 Carat Gold 2023. And again, a really good event. First round matches here, plus the alternate four-way, which was a really interesting match. So we saw Ilya Bloom get the better of Anil Merrick, Fast Time Mudo, and Guliash Jr. in a match in which I think like the whole crowd was just so undecided. 4 super talented guys, 4 super popular guys with our audience. It was a really fun and exciting contest.
Hey, without a doubt, I think any one of those 4 guys being the alternate would have been incredible and really fun. Obviously, you don't wish any harm on anybody in the tournament, but seeing Ilya Bloom suddenly, inserted into the tournament at some point would have been one hell of a screwball there for whoever has to face him.
Yeah,
But Fast Time Mudo, Guliash, and Guliash Jr. and Anil Merrick are all incredible talents by their own rights, regardless of the slump that Anil is having. But you had so many different moments in this match where it could have gone any which way. So it was kudos for Ilya for having such an incredible weekend, as we said, like with his fight against Shigehiro Irie, and then getting that alternate four-way spot.
Yeah, definitely. And so, main show, we're straight into tournament action. Non-title match, the Shotgun champion Lawrence Roman lost to New Japan Pro Wrestling's Francesco Akira in a great match. I really enjoyed that one.
It was that fireball, man. Nobody's ever kicked out of the fireball.
Yeah.
And as I said it on commentary, I'll say it again. I'm sure Lawrence Roman strategized against it, tried to prepare as best he could, but it's just what happens when you face somebody that you've never faced before. It's a lot of variables that you can't really account for.
Yeah, absolutely. We also saw Tristan Archer defeat Mike D in the first round there. And man, this match felt like it could have gone either way. And you could really feel the disappointment in the Oberhausen crowd when Tristan got that victory over Mike D.
Disappointment and Tristan Archer go hand in hand. It's not even because of a lack of talent at all. He's incredible. It's just his attitude and the way he goes about things. But say what you may, he is one of the most recent wXw Unified World Wrestling champions, 2-time world champion. He's an incredible talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We also had a rematch from Ambition 12 where Masha Slamovich defeated Fuminori Abe, picking up that win, bringing their match series now to a 1-1 tie. In what was like definitely a very highly anticipated match, especially after what we saw from them 6 months previously.
Hey, all I'm hearing is 1-1. We still need a third.
Yeah, shut up and take my money, Matt. Shut up and take my money.
I'll gladly take your money. Give me your money. I'll send you my PayPal.
So yeah, great match. Shigehiro Irie defeated Metahan in the first round there. Metahan doing pretty much all he could to cheat his way to victory, to steal a victory there, but it just proved to be no match for the Beast Bomber in that contest.
He threw everything and the kitchen sink, but the Beast Bomber comes over, he manages to get the victory. And you have to wonder if Metahan would have relied a little more on his natural talents, if it might have been a little different.
Definitely. Well, I know we spoke in the preview about, the 4 names he defeated in order to win 16 Carat back in 2019, I believe. Essentially, for the biggest names that you could think of, 4 very defining names of wXw. But yeah, history was not to repeat itself here tonight. As Sebastian says here, Masha Slamovich and Fuminori Abe was my favorite match of night 1. And I heard that from a lot of people. It was a great, great match.
That man's got good taste. Somebody buy him a beer.
We then move on to what I think was maybe my favorite match of night 1. Peter Tahani getting the best of Impact Wrestling X Division champion Trey Miguel. Wow. What a match.
Dude, one of the best performers and wrestlers on the American scene right now, on the American indie scene right now. Impact X Division champion, as you mentioned, against one of Europe's best up and coming talents, somebody we've been talking about for a year.
Yeah.
When we named the entire sort of all the first round matches, that was one of the matches that was on my list of like, all right, sign me up. I gotta be there. You know, I was not gonna miss it for the world, and I'm happy I got to see it. My God, what a match!
Yeah, and it was followed up by some insane lucha madness. Commander and Ares in a match which, they've taken all across North America, has been wowing audiences left, right, and center. And we got to witness it live in the first round of 16 Carat Gold.
I happen to have a lot of Mexican friends, and as soon as I mentioned that match, they were like, "Okay, that's awesome." You know, even watched it back with one of my buddies, as well as a match later on that we're going to talk about. And some of those friends have said that might have been one of the best lucha style matches they've ever seen. But even like this match between Commander and Ares was just a precursor to what's to come over the weekend from those two guys.
Yeah, again, that was just the appetizer for what those two guys are capable of, right?
That little lemony flavor here, right there. You get it in your mouth. You get like, oh, no, I like that taste, and then head on straight into that main appetizer, baby. That stuff was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. So I am going to have to mention a name here, which might be troubling for some people. We are not going to talk about this man's matches. Just mention the name and the result. Axel Tischer defeated Davey Richards in the first round of 16 Carat Gold to move on to the second round. And our main event of night one, Ahura against Maggot.
I mean, I will say it did not go the direction I thought it would, but
okay,
it's wrestling isn't on paper, and just going off of momentum. I had this one expectation and went a completely different direction. It was definitely a very interesting match, and I have to say, whether you just respect him or not, you talk about the weekend Ahura had was definitely, for better or for worse, it was one of the better weekends that most people have had.
Another guy, and I know we've spoken about this privately. We might not like that attitude. We might not like his methods, but they got him some results this weekend. It didn't take him the whole way. He didn't get where he wanted to be, but he was impressive regardless of if you like the tactics the man uses.
You summed it up perfectly. I don't know what I can't really add much to that.
Why are you here tonight, mate? You're adding nothing to this. I can do this on my own.
All right, fine. I'll grab
please
water.
Don't. Please don't. As Sebastian says here, Commando versus Ares was my second favorite match of the show. I think it was better than the one they had at GCW. That's a pretty bold statement. The one they had at GCW was great. Damn.
That's a bold statement. I'm glad he said it.
You don't want to get in trouble.
No, I definitely get in trouble. Hold on. I think Felix is calling.
Oh, man. So, yeah, that was night one. Overall, great way to kick off the Oberhausen, the Terminenhalle portion of 16 Carat Weekend, which leads us into day two, where we had not one, not two, but 3 events in the course of one day. I'm trying to get my hand in the right place so we can see it on camera. 3 events in the course of one day. And as Sebastian brought up earlier, Adam Priest and Jane Newman are 2 wrestlers I really enjoy. More about them when we talk about wXw Now and Friends Showcase. We're talking about wXw Now and Friends Showcase right here. And for those of you, again, who might not know, this is where we literally invite all our friends along, some of the many great companies who we have friendships and partnerships with across the globe, and let them put on a match over 16 Carat Weekend. And we kicked things off with a championship match from Action Wrestling in Georgia, in the heart of the USA, as the champion, Adam Priest, defended against Jaden Newman in what potentially for me was one of my, not potentially, but what was one of my favorite matches of this show.
I have to agree that the match was definitely one of the complete biggest highlights. It's nothing against, it was it was a really great event, but that specific match for some reason just, it really gave you a good feel to what the evening was going to be like. Yeah. Jaden Newman and Adam Priest, I've already sung their praises. They're really incredible wrestlers, and I really hope we get to see them again in wXw. Adam Priest manages to keep that Action Championship on around his waist, so I'm definitely curious as to what happens when they get back to the States, or when they got back to the States.
Yeah, well, if you remember, Adam Priest cut a promo online where he's saying, he was looking forward to coming across to Europe, to Germany, to defend that championship. But he was less than impressed at the fact that his first challenger here in Europe was a man who he knows from back home. He knows back from the USA, and Jaden Newman. Not that he cared. He was going to, beat him anyway, which he did. Maybe not as easily as Priest had anticipated. But yeah, that was a really good match. As Sebastian here, thank you again for commenting, my friend. That was my favorite match of the show. Yeah, really, really great match there. So let's speed things up a little bit on this event. Pro Wrestling Österreich presented Martin Payne, who was able to defeat Lucifer Lohan, as these two big boys brought it to one another. What were you going to say?
No, you just know, I like big boys to just wham on each other. Just that was that. You already know that. Big meaty men beating each other. Come on. How can you not love it? So thank you to Pro Wrestling Austria.
Yeah. Okay, so we just had the Body Slam Tag Team title on the line as the Easy Lovers defended against not quite their scheduled opponents, but Adonis and
Hunyadi Tamash.
Hunyadi Tamash, yes. I was just sitting there trying to process, how do I pronounce that name? I was having a bit of a brain fart.
Yeah, the Soldier of Fortune out of Hungary jumped on. He wasn't even expecting to have a match over the weekend, but because of flight issues, he could have gone home and had to relocate to Denmark to defend the championship, but sadly it wasn't the case. The only thing I'd like to say is I apologize to the Easy Lovers for Dave Bradshaw not calling the third man Big Fat Daddy, which is his name. But eventually Dave learned to put respect on that.
I mean, here on my sheet, it says the third man was called Jackpot.
His name, no. Jackpot and Bam Bam Quaid were the two men in the ring. And the man outside of the other
guy was Eric Zabel.
No, it's not Eric. It's Big Fat Daddy.
It says that's his nickname.
No, put some respect on Big Fat Daddy's name. That's his name. He told me that backstage, and I believe the man wholeheartedly. Why would he lie to me?
Moving on.
There you go. Yeah.
We had an APC title match in which Rick Zalem retained against Kuro, and then we had what was maybe my favorite match of this event, presented by Smash Wrestling in Canada, as Psycho Mike was able to defeat Charles Crowley from the UK. Your thoughts,
Psycho Mike and Charles Crowley, Psycho Mike's a guy I'm always happy to see, and Charles Crowley is a dude that I've always wanted to be able to see live, and I got to do commentary on his match. And I'm glad, he may have lost, but he'll always be a Canadian legend who gives unsolicited advice to Bret Hart, as he told me.
As you do. Okay, again, moving on, rounding things off very quickly here for Showcase. Passion Pro presented a six-man tag team match in which Bence Toff, BT, Guliash Jr. and Maokai defeated, I hope I pronounced all those names right. Apologies if I got that wrong. Were able to defeat Corey McRae, Maverick, and Safari Amin. The ICW World Heavyweight title was defended by Leighton Buzzard. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me this evening? I apologize.
You're buzzing.
I wish I was. Retained against Vaughn Vertigo. And the main event, Progress World title on the line, as Spike Trevay retained against Danny Black. Matt, any additional thoughts on the show you would like to share?
Go watch it. That's my notes. It was definitely a great showcase of what all the promotions that we work with here at wXw, just everything they can do and how incredible they are. And you see
Yeah.
Sebastian there, Psycho Mike and Charles Crowley, a very entertaining match.
Absolutely.
Every match had something for somebody. I definitely think go watch it. Passion Pro has definitely shown the Hungarian wrestling scene is incredible. For those of you who don't know, I'm not sure if there's any more spots. If there are any hopeful wrestlers, there's also going to be a Hungarian wrestling camp sometime soon in August. So keep an eye out on that. It's just such a great show to showcase what all the friends of wXw are capable of, and I think we got a really good showing from every promotion that was involved, and I think we'd like to thank them in case that hasn't been done already.
Yes, I believe we have thanked them many times, but once again, to everyone who was a part of the showcase with us, thank you all very much. We look forward to seeing you all again in the very near future. But moving on, we then come on to Ambition 14, Shoot Style Pro Wrestling. And this, again, another event I didn't get to see live because I was too busy working on other bits and pieces of editing and whatever backstage.
Same thing for me. It's one of the events I really wanted to see live, but also because of having to work on other stuff, I got to see bits and pieces, but my God, did I want to see that live.
Yes, I mean, this was a whole lot of fun. I love Ambition. I love the style. I think it's superb. Superb. What the hell is wrong with me this evening?
You're the Englishman. I don't know.
I know, right? This is not good. This is really not good. But yeah, Ambition, my favorite matinee event, presented by a very good podcast. Our friends Just Bring It, the Nerd Podcast, presenting that event for us there. And so we had the 8-man tournament, plus we had the wXw against GMC match and the Ambition Super Fight. So, wow, so much great stuff here. Quickly, first round results. This is going to be a long night for me, man.
I believe in you, man. I believe in you. Everybody point and laugh.
Thanks. Thomas Shire beat Peter Tahani. Bobby Guns beat Kevin Lloyd, who sadly still has not picked up a single victory in Ambition, despite this being his third matching an Ambition tournament. Go round. Thank you.
You're
wow,
welcome.
I'm struggling tonight.
I get paid to talk.
Davey Richards beat Lawrence Roman, and Fuminori Abe beat Fast Time Mudo. But then we have to talk about the wXw against GMC fight. Icarus against Patrick Cyborg Bork. Wow.
Hey, I told you before the event not to sleep on this match. Go back and watch the clip. I told you this match is going to be awesome. Patrick Bork is an absolute monster. And he went head to head with one of the best wrestlers in Europe, not just one of the best tag teams in the world, but one of the best wrestlers in Europe. What a match. It was incredible, and definitely a little more than I think we've bargained for it by the end of it.
Yeah, I think so. It was, I mean, I love this fight. It was insane. But then, we have to talk about the post-fight interview. Dan Malman speaking to Patrick Bork, who then said, I've always wanted to do this, and climbed up on the second rope and kind of posed for the fans. And Robert Dreisker took exception to that,
as he typically would. But at the same time, as soon as I heard what had happened, I kind of understood. I've had a little more dealings with Robert through my time at the academy, and that's definitely not something that Robert Dreisker would take lightly or kindly to. But I also understand Patrick's point of view, being a lifelong wrestling fan and always having wanted, I dream of doing something like that as well. So
yeah, absolutely. And as Sebastian says, Patrick did really well considering it was his first ever professional wrestling match. And I don't think anyone can argue that for a second. He did insanely well, especially against someone like Icarus. Icarus, he's as tough as they come. He's as mean as they come. He's not just well versed in professional wrestling. The man's versed in, several different fighting disciplines. So for, Patrick Bulk to not just like hold his own, but actually be able to defeat Icarus, that's hugely impressive.
That's a statement. That's a statement and a half.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's the end of the issues between the GMC guys and Amboss. I know there's been a lot of speculation online, but we'll see. We'll see if anything comes of that.
There's powder keg right there.
Yeah, it's ready to blow. Personally, I'd like to see that thing erupt, but I wouldn't want to be standing too close, if you know what I mean.
As long as I'm up on that balcony with the microphone, just have my headset on, I'm up on the balcony, I'm happy, I'm good. As long as I'm not near the ring as soon as that happens, because, oh boy, I'm big, but I'm fluffy, man. I can't take a punch. I'm fragile. I'll bruise really easily. I'm not really built for that.
I mean, you say this now, and yet you were just saying 2 minutes ago how you dream of being a professional wrestler still.
There's a reason why I'm on the commentary table, Mark. Dreaming is one thing, but...
Okay, let's look now at quick results from the Ambition semifinals. Thomas Shire beat Bobby Guns. Superb fight. And Fuminori Abe beat Davey Richards. Then we come to what was probably my favorite fight of the whole show, the Ambition Super Fight. Luke Jacobs taking on Axel the Axeman Tischer.
That was a really incredible. That's the one match I was able to watch live.
Yeah.
Before having to go back to the work I did, and it was really incredible. Such a great match there, and it just highlights just how good Axel Tischer is, and also highlights just what an incredible talent for the future somebody like Luke Jacobs is.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I didn't get to see the whole fight live, but I was up on the production balcony working on my laptop and with headphones on, and I heard the crowd get very loud, come unglued. I looked up, I took the headphones off, saw the last 2 minutes of the fight. Wow, incredible. Absolutely must see. Again, that is on wXwNOW 2.0. Join up, €9.99 a month. You have to see this fight. Great stuff.
Yes, sirree.
And then we get to the tournament final. Fuminori Abe against Thomas Shire. Abe defeating Shire after he became so close. He got to the tournament finals last year. Wow, what a fight between these two. And as Dan said, Shire just blasted through this tournament. He really, really did.
Shire did an incredible job. Over the weekend and over the last time we had him over for wXw Wildcard, he's one of those names that I hope really keep popping up at wXw. That hashtag hire Shire just blasts that all over Twitter, because Shire is incredible. Hey, I'm saying it right now, completely unbiased. Shire is incredible, and I'd love to have him again here at wXw.
Absolutely the same. Going back to We Love Wrestling Wildcard at World Tag Festival, I saw Shire in that match against Kevloid, and I knew he would be a great fit for Ambition, and he didn't disappoint by getting all the way to the finals. Maybe the next time out will be his year. Who knows? But yeah, a guy I'd really like to see more of. And actually, Sebastian, I completely agree with you here. I'd love to see more of Axel in those Ambition-style matches. I think that's a great shout. I think that could be very, very interesting. I'd like to see a rematch between Axel and Luke because, as has been pointed out online, there was maybe some a questionable decision made by the official in this match. I'm not sure if I entirely agree with that, but some people say that when Axel was down and Felix Schultz was trying to get Luke to back off, he should have been counting Axel, and Luke should have won it there because Axel wouldn't have made it back to his feet by a count of 10. Now, I think if Axel had heard Felix counting, he would have got up quicker than he did. A veteran like Axel is going to make the most of the time given to him to, recover as much as he can in any situation he's given. Well, I think a rematch could be very, very interesting between these two. I'd like to see that.
I mean, it's not to say our referees never make mistakes, but they are absolute world class, as is Felix Schultz. But in this scenario, I am very happy that there is all that discussion and questions, because that means I get to see this match live again.
Yes.
So I'm all up for it. Let's have a second match. I don't know if Axel Tischer is down, which I know he never backs down for a fight.
No.
If Luke Jacobs is down, who I would assume would never back down from a fight, I'm up to see another one of those.
Yeah, I would like to see these two men try and kick each other's heads in once more. I think people would pay to see that.
Let us know.
Everyone here, join us in the chat. Tell us, what do you think? Do you want to see a rematch of that one? I know I sure do. So before we move on, Matt, any additional thoughts about Ambition you would like to share with us? Guys in the chat, any additional thoughts about Ambition you would like to share with us? As Sebastian says here, the final was my favourite match of the show. Well, I would have wished that Shire would have win. He had a great tournament. Yeah, he did have a great tournament. I mean, I was torn. Like, I think it's phenomenal that Abe won. Phenomenal competitor. Shire, again, phenomenal competitor. I would have been happy with either picking up a victory there.
Hey, Ambition is always such a lovely highlight to have, especially over a weekend like that. So my only regret from the weekend is not being able to watch the entire event as it was happening in live. But I couldn't imagine, other than Shire and like, obviously, like, everybody was really incredible, but between Shire and Abe, I think if we had that final again today, you might have a completely different outcome. Both of those guys on the day were just incredible.
Yep. And Sebastian would like to see a rematch with Axel and Luke. And as Dan says, Ambition is must see. Banger after banger. Yeah. It's a great event. I love it. And I wish I could have just sat back and enjoyed it all live rather than having to catch up as I did. But these things happen. It is what it is. And yeah, especially we understand, like, we get that, you're not kind of like trying to dump on Abe here, but I completely understand, when you see one of your absolute favorites maybe come up a little bit short in a tournament like that, it's a bit disappointing. But yeah, good luck to all the guys who went to that tournament. Phenomenal tournament. But we move on. We move on to talk about the main show, the third show of that day, 16 Carat Gold 2023 Night 2. And in a match which is available for free here on YouTube, Becca defeated Amal in our Fight Forever match. And then we moved on to the main show. Our first quarterfinal, Tristan Archer against Shigehiro Irie.
Tristan Archer, I'm afraid it's the Beast Bomber.
Yeah.
Shigehiro, it was a really great match there. You can't underestimate Shigehiro Irie. It's a horrible mistake, especially after so many times that he's been involved in the 16 Carat Gold tournament and how often he's come short. The man is incredible.
Yeah, and I think Tristan maybe come into this, a little bit cocky. I think he maybe underestimated Shiggy a little bit. And Tristan Archer paid the price as Shiggy was able to secure victory in the quarterfinal here.
I mean, like I said, Tristan Archer is one of the premier talents in Europe, possibly one of the, the best wrestlers in the world. In that conversation, perhaps, of, but at this level, one mistake or underestimating your opponent for 1 millisecond could mean the difference between a win and a loss.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then in our second quarterfinal match, Ahura was able to defeat Commander. However, this was a controversial finish. Ahura ripping off the mask of Commander. The level of disrespect. Oh, I was not happy. I was unimpressed.
I mean, I really don't have anything to say about that, especially, the mask is the most holy thing for a luchador. It is just completely, it is the custom. It is the heart of the customs in Mexico, and touching the mask, messing with the mask is just the worst thing you could possibly do.
Yeah, ultimate disrespect.
But it's amazing to me that that's
Heinous.
just one of the things on a list of things that Ahura has done over the past months that
And
just
continues to do, I'm sure.
yeah. I'm not saying it's okay or passable, but like it doesn't pale in comparison, but it's not even one of the worst things that he's done somehow over the past months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, completely. Absolutely. Like, I don't know if this man is going to stop until, like, you know, he's literally, like, you know, in the actual gutter. You know?
Or the bin.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the bin is been scraping the bottom of the bin for just how low and scummy he can get with these actions.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. We then had the number one contenders tag team gauntlet. And this was a whole lot of fun. Anything you'd like to say here?
I think it was a interesting match because you had these very colorful combinations like the team of Trey Miguel and Ares, which is something that you could only get at 16 Carat Gold. Because who knows, maybe they would have gone on to become tag team champions.
Well, let's just run down like what happened here very briefly. Yeah. So Trey Miguel and Ares were the first combination out. A really interesting combination that I think a lot of us got excited by when we, you know, considered the high-flying possibilities of this duo. And their first opponents was the team of Ilya Bloom and Nick Schreier. You know, Bloom and Schreier, impressive, but ultimately fell to Miguel and Ares. Next out, the team of Psycho Mike and the Son of Nothing, Maggot. Wow. I didn't know I wanted to see these two as a team until I saw these two as a team.
It was like trying peanut butter and jelly for the first time.
I mean, no, I hated that.
Okay, well, it's like trying peanut butter and jelly for the first time if you liked peanut butter and jelly. But point is, fine, steak and tartar sauce. I don't know. That was I never knew I really wanted that mixture, and I'm really glad I got to experience it. It was just delightful.
Yeah, a lot of fun, and they were able to put away Trey Miguel and Ares, but they fell to our next combination, Zafar Amin and Rambo, who were obviously joined by Dababo Metaham.
I mean, that was the beginning of, I guess, over that weekend, the induction of Zafar Amin into the family of Metahan. Mm-hmm, so, by all means, that was a very, very important, noteworthy moment over the weekend that foreshadowed, that led to a lot of different things over the course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. However, it was our final entrance into the match, and I think got Oberhausen like just unglued for a few minutes there. Rot and Flot, Nikita Charisma, Mikhail Schenkenberg returning. We haven't seen them in 3-4 months now, maybe. It's been a little while. It's been a hot minute since we've seen Rot and Flot. And as soon as the first few bars of their music hit, wow, the Turbine and Hala come unglued.
What do they say? It makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was surprised that I was almost happy to see them, and so was Dave. And
I'm surprised by Dave there.
I was more, but I told him then I didn't know how to feel, but like you haven't seen them for a long time, and they come back, and it's almost triumphant,
Yeah.
And
even more triumphant when they go on to win the match and become number one contenders.
Yeah.
For the wXw World Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, they became the number one contenders for those championships, and they even got on. I mean, we'll get to that point when we get to it. I was about to jump forwards again.
Yeah. And yeah, I think Sebastian, what you say here, when they made that entrance, it was great. You were so happy they won. I think we all were. And I'm not entirely sure if it's because we were happy it was Rotten Flot or just we were happy it wasn't Zafar Amin and Rambo. Potentially.
Why not both? Just both.
Yeah. I'll go for that.
Yeah, but without a doubt, I think, seeing Rottenflut back, Mikhail Schenkenberg and Nikita Charisma was definitely a breath of fresh air. Oddly enough,
Yeah.
Rottenflut and great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible to have them back, and I'm excited to see what they do next.
Yeah, definitely. But we then moved on to our next quarterfinal match, and this one, wow, I really, really enjoyed this contest. Axel the Axeman Tischer and Masha Slamovich. Wow, what a fight!
It's just another notch in the hat of Masha Slamovich when it comes to always delivering, no matter who she's in the ring with.
Mm-hmm.
She took a lot more from Axel Tischer than I think he was expecting at all. But
Yeah, he
yeah,
definitely was not expecting Masha Slamovich to put up anywhere near as much of a fight and as much resistance as she did. And I think in a roundabout way, I think she earned Axel's respect in that match. As much as he didn't show it, I think deep down, Axel respects her after that. I know
if
the
he
fans
doesn't,
certainly do.
if he doesn't, I don't know what's going through that man's head. He's one of the greatest. He is without a doubt the greatest in Europe.
Mm.
But the fact that Masha Slamovich put up that much of a fight and gave it to him that hard just speaks to the talent that Masha Slamovich has.
Yeah, definitely. And Sebastian's favorite match of day 2, I can easily see why. Superb. And now I can't quite put money on what my favorite was. It was either Masha and Axel or this next match. Peter Tahani and Francesco Akira in what to me felt very, very reminiscent of, a New Japan main event style match. I thought this was superb. I loved every single second of it.
It just speaks to the level of people that are in the 16 karat gold tournament to have somebody like Francesco Akira over from New Japan. Who knows? He could have gone on to win the whole thing. Quite honestly.
Yeah, this match could have gone either way. I'm not sure anyone knew. There were so many times where you could have sworn it was over, if only for, a fraction, the tiniest fraction of someone kicking out. I need to bring my hand over here, not here. Jesus. But yeah, incredible match. Absolutely love that.
And you guys, whoever of you watched that, you could tell us what was your favorite match. Was it Masha and Axel? Was it that match? Was it something completely different?
Yeah.
It was one hell of a match and just another statement for Peter Tihani in just the incredible names that he's gone on to defeat. Even in this tournament, like at this point, he's already beaten names, people like Trey Miguel and Francesco Akira just through day 2. Just what an incredible event, an incredible weekend for Peter Tihani.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a shotgun championship defense, Lawrence Roman defeating Davey Richards. And then we had the women's championship 4-way dance. So the reigning and defending champion, Alice Inc., putting the title on line against 3 former champions, Ava Everett, Eva Kolaski, and Baby Allison. And, Alice coming to this match confident, as we heard in, the pre-match video package. This is definitely going to be a challenge, but who's the challenge for? And it didn't quite pay off for Alice, as Baby Allison able to regain the title in that 4-way match by forcing, I believe it was Eva Kolaski to submit.
Yeah, she got her in that baby exorcism, and Eva had to tap, but that's the dangers of a 3-way dance for the champion, specifically there for Alice Inc., who said that they're going to have to overcome and slay the dragon. Well, they don't have to slay the dragon. They can pin somebody else or
evade the dragon and get that title. Disappointing for Alice. And as we've spoken about before, I'm a huge fan of Alice Inc. But Baby Allison now in her second reign as women's champion, and I'm sure she's going to have Alice, she's going to have Eva, she's going to have Eva, she's going to have a whole host of women chasing her, and after that championship once again.
Without a doubt, that's just the biggest thing when you win a championship. You are the champion, but you've got that big old target on your back, and nobody's going to stop. And for the second time running, 16 karat gold is Baby Allison's weekend.
And then we moved on to the wXw World Tag Team Championship match. The Arrows of Hungary, Dover and Icarus, able to dethrone the Frenchadors, Egg LeBlanc and Senza Volto, and pick up what I believe is their second reign as wXw World Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, one additional championship, 2 championship belts off to Ambos now. It's getting real scary now, Mark. But
yeah,
this was their goal: reshape, reclaim, rebuild. That's always been their MO. They were definitely not shy about talking about it and saying it. The fact that they won those championships, I feel like at some point was more so a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, I feel you may be right there. And, as I said before, arguably the Arrows of Hungary, not just one of the best tag teams in Europe, but one of the best tag teams in the world right now. Like, that's something which is very hard to, try and argue against. And they proved it at 16 Carat Night 2 by regaining those tag titles.
I will say it as simple as this. A lot of people have tried to go up against Ambos between Tihani, Elia Bloom, everybody else. The Frenchadors also. They've always managed to wound Ambos. Like when they took Dover up for months with his arm or the injury to Robert Dreisker, but they've never been able to stop Ambos. Ambos has still moved on, and I'm afraid of what might happen as soon as Robert Dreisker is cleared to compete again.
Yeah, that's a really good question. But maybe we can touch on that a little bit later on. As we now start speaking about the main event of night 2, job versus career, as Norman Harris, who, if he lost, was going to be forced to quit or be fired as the director of sports here at wXw, going up against the career of Bobby Guns. If Bobby lost, he was going to be forced to retire from professional wrestling as a whole. And I know there was a whole lot of trepidation from a lot of, different sides here. We were slightly worried because, we'd upset Norman prior to Carat, and we were worried he was going to try and fire us all after Carat if he won. Thankfully, he didn't, but man, what a contest, what a journey. This match was insane. So much going on. Where do we even begin?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was sending out an application or two before the match just to be on the safe side in case Norman did manage to win. But hallelujah. Somehow, thank goodness, Bobby Guns manages to overcome with the help, with some assistance, some help. But I guess it's only fair considering all the different loops and holes that Norman used during that match. But what a end to night 2.
Well, let's just, for those who maybe haven't seen it, and you want to see this, as Dan says here, one of the most incredible things he's ever seen. It was insane. So, it wasn't just like, okay, let's begin. So it's Norman going against Bobby, but then Norman hits Tassilo Young for low blow, takes our head referee out. Metahan, Rambo, Safari Amin get involved. From there, Jörn Simmons, who, has been out injured, had to miss this weekend, who was originally scheduled to be a part of the 16 Carat Gold tournament, couldn't. He was watching as a fan. He got beat up and bloodied pretty bad. And, it looked like Norman was threatening to end the careers of both Bobby and Jörn before Levaniel come out. And then, again, somehow Norman and Metahan and their little gang, they got control again before Michael Knight returned, hit the ring, took out everybody. But in the process, I think every referee in wXw had been taken out during the course of this match. Literally everyone. Tassilo Young, Rainer Ringer, Felix Schultz, Alex Schneider, all taken out, beaten up by Norman, by Metahan, by Rambo, by Safari Amin. So we were left without a referee. So Levaniel looked up to our production balcony asked Felix Kohlenberg, the CEO of wXw, if he could put on the ref shirt and count the pin. And Norman, who had, had a go verbally at Felix during the course of the contest, said, yeah, go for it. Levaniel counting that free that removed Norman Harris from his position as Director of Sports. Glorious.
Yep.
Loved it. What a moment.
I'm sure Norman's not going to be watching any X-Men movies because the letter X is just going to remind him of some really bad memories.
Yeah, and especially it was chaotic, but in the best, most entertaining way. It was absolutely insane. As Dad says, what a match. An epic conclusion, glorious. It really, really was. And yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. What a way to wrap up night 2. And let's not forget, night 2 sold out 1,100 fans. 1,100 fans packed into the Turbinenhalle in Oberhausen.
Hey, it's worth mentioning.
What an atmosphere.
We got to give some applause for dear old Dennis Birkendahl, who, together they reformed everything and changed up the layout of the stage so we could get even more people in there, because we were basically, we had to find whichever way to find more space. That was, even then it was completely sold out. So
yeah,
what an evening, what a weekend. Definitely record-breaking 16 karat gold weekend.
Yeah, superb. And so from there we move on to the final day, the Sunday, the 12th of March, and we open things up with We Love Wrestling 42. So let's not spend too much time going through this, because I'm aware we've probably run a little bit long on everything here. But Fast Time Mudo defeated Jaden Newman in a really fun little match. Tag team encounter, Rambo and Safar Amin able to beat the combination of Danny Frey and Nick Schreier. 6-woman tag team match, Alice Inc., Becca, and Calypso able to gain victory over the team of Amal, Eva Kalaski, and Michelle Green. In what actually I thought was a really, really good, solid match. Really enjoyed that one. A lot more than I maybe expected to begin with. Really enjoyed what those 6 ladies did there. Singles match, Luke Jacobs against Gulliash Jr. And go on.
Clonker.
Yeah.
A clonker.
Yeah, 2 big boys battering each other. Great fun. Really split crowd on that. Like, people were behind both guys so much. 2 guys we'd all love to see more of here in wXW. Shotgun title match. Lawrence Roman able to retain over the Ambition winner, Fuminori Abe. And then we move on to what was maybe my favorite match of this event. 6-person tag team action. Baby Allison, Maggot, and Psycho Mike able to defeat Ava Everett, Charles Crowley, and Jacob Crane in a match where Jacob Crane was forced to endure not 1, not 2, not 3, not 5, not 10, but 16 body slams.
17. After the match.
Of course. I said in the match he was forced to endure.
All right, that's fair. 16 body slams on 16 karat gold. I mean, we talked about this. Jacob Crane managed to escape the body slam, but he was only delaying the inevitable.
Yes, he was. In a circle, he didn't take one. He managed to evade, and my God, did he pay for it here at We Love Wrestling 42. Glorious.
Yeah, I think he might still be having some
back issues.
So he's definitely at the chiropractor right now. We could all DM him or say, get out that hashtag pray for Jacob Crane's back, or pray for Jacob Crane or something.
I mean, I did see him here in the chat a little bit earlier on, but I don't know whether he's bothered sticking with us. Probably not. You know what he's like, easily distracted. As I says, this was another great moment here. And he says, yeah, a moment here that started on the YouTube channel. Yeah, it started here, it grew. And And I believe you were sitting right near the stage on this one, right at the back where the guys were entering the building. And I could see your face as the body slams were being delivered and as you counted along. And the joy and excitement on your face was fantastic. What a moment.
Technically, Jacob Crane has you to blame for the 16 body slams because you kind of incited that entire movement. So, yeah, if you guys have some choice words with you.
I mean, maybe. Maybe. Especially really entertaining show. Again, Sebastian agrees with me. Like this was his favorite contest there. Superb. Absolutely superb. So the final two matches, singles match, Lavaniel was able to defeat Leighton Buzzard, and the main event, the Arrows of Hungary were sadly able to retain the tag titles against Rotten Flop as they cashed in their tag title opportunity that they won at night 2.
Very close, but no cigar, sadly. I mean, like I said, it still kind of feels a little bit weird to say Rotten Flop lost, sadly, but...
Yeah, it does feel odd. It really does.
But it's not the end for sure. There's still a lot more to come. There's always going to be new challenges for the Arrows of Hungary, and Rotten Flot are always going to have a chance as long as they remain competitive and remain as capable and talented as the two guys are. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought it was a really great fun show to open up the day and get us all ready for the grand finale. wXw 16 Carat Gold 2023 Night 3. Wow, this was superb. This whole show was superb. Absolutely love this. Guys, tell us, what did you think of Night 3? It kicked off Shigehiro Irie defeating Ahura in the first semi-final of the night to make his way into the final of 16 Carat Gold, quickly followed by Axel Tischer defeating Peter Tahani to secure his place in the finals. And Tischer and Tahani was superb. Phenomenal match. I was so disappointed Tahani unable to secure the victory. But wow, what an incredible effort by Tahani at 16 Carat Gold 2023 as a whole.
It was incredible. If he would have gone on to defeat Axel Tischer, who knows? It might have been Tahani's year, and he might have been the youngest to ever win 16 Karat Gold at the age of 23. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have the numbers of the past winners, but what an event! What an incredible performance over the weekend, and it led to a lot more in the future, of course, because Tahani and Tischer had that little interaction with one another in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But one hell of a performance from Tahani the entire weekend.
Yeah, superb. And especially this, Night 3 was his favorite show of the whole weekend. One of his favorite wrestling shows of the whole year. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Superb. So, perfect ending to a perfect weekend. And thank you very much, Dan. Like, you are more than welcome. We're glad you had such a great time there. We hope you enjoyed it, watching it all back on wXwNOW 2.0 as much as you did being there live. But let's cover more of what happened on this show and recap it for anyone else who wasn't there. Next, we had up the six-man tag team match. Amboss defeating Anil Merrick, Massimo Pesca, and Nick Schreier. The real story here isn't just the result, though. It's that Amboss, we were expecting Dover Icarus and Lawrence Roman, but it was Robert Dreisker, who I'm not even sure was cleared medically to wrestle after the injury he suffered at Back to the Roots.
He was not. I will confirm that for you right now. He was not cleared to compete.
So he shouldn't have been there. But Anil Merrick didn't even tag into the ring. He wasn't even active in this match. It was over in just over 2 minutes, I believe. And And Neil, man, if he wasn't a broken man before, he certainly is now. After Robert Dreisker took to the microphone to verbally taunt and dress down and insult a Neil Merrick in front of, almost 1,000 people in Oberhausen. What do you make of this, Matt? Like,
hey, it was uncomfortable to watch.
It really was.
Yeah, and even after the event, or whenever I had the chance to go backstage, just couldn't find O'Neil anywhere. And if you found him, I'm pretty sure you had a very empty look in his eyes.
Yeah, I did get to speak to him very, very briefly, and I was just like, "How are you? Like, what's going on?" And he didn't even look me in the eye. He's just like, "That was super uncomfortable," and walks off. Those his only words to me. That was super uncomfortable. Didn't even look at me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with O'Neil, but I hope he can work things out and get himself back on track.
I do too, man. He's a talented dude. It's a shame that he's going through all that, but
yeah,
trials and
tribulations. And Dreisker is not helping at all.
No.
I don't know what the hell is going through Dreisker's head, but anyway, let's move on. And after that, a singles match, fantastic singles match. Actually, I really enjoyed this. Ilya Bloom taking on Adam Priest. Yeah, this was just a really good, fun match. Adam Priest, again, looked super impressive in every outing he had this weekend. And Ilya Bloom, just what a weekend he had overall. Fantastic. This young man just impressing everyone at 16 Carat Gold.
Hey, Ilya Bloom was incredible over the weekend. I said it before. I'll say it again. One of the greatest up-and-coming talents in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eyes on the dude, because I wouldn't be remiss in saying that who knows, by this time next year he might be in the tournament without being in the alternate four-way. Who knows what happens? Hopefully no jinxing or anything, but if the dude keeps on this trajectory, he's going to be incredible in 1 year from now.
Yep, absolutely. We then move on. We had the number one contenders championship four-way. What a match this was. Francesco Akira, Lovaniel, and Tristan Archer all falling foul to Mike DiVecchio, who was absolutely on fire in this match. And, in his first weekend in wXw, walked in as, almost a complete unknown to so many of our fans, to so many of our crew. I wasn't really aware of him, and has walked out with so much fan support, so much love, and a guaranteed shot at the wXw Unified World Wrestling Championship somewhere down the line.
That's how quick things go. That's how quick things go. It's incredible. You walk in as last-second replacement because of the injured Jurgen Simmons, and all of a sudden, out in the first round, but then you win and become number one contender for the championship. So when you think about it, like in the old school style of 16 Carat Gold, where the championship wasn't on the line, the person coming out of 16 Carat Gold as number one contender is a 16 Carat Gold winner. So that just shows you how much of a big win it was for Mike D. And I'm excited to see that match. Shigehiro Irie and Mike D. Sign me up. Sign me up, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I think they just got to show, everyone always says the wrestling business is about opportunities. Talk about taking an opportunity and making the most of it. Mike D proved what's possible when you do just that in just one weekend, 1 month ago here in Germany. Phenomenal. After that, tag team action. The Only Friends in their first match back, Bobby Guns and Michael Knight, able to defeat the team of Davey Richards and Masha Slamovich. And after that, holy hell, this match, Lucha Rules 6-man tag. I know I did not shut up on Twitter about this match for weeks. And
I didn't shut up on commentary.
This was insane. This was one of the greatest like Lucha 6-man matches I have ever seen. If you can find me an example of a finer Lucha Trios match, please let me know, because I don't know I've ever seen one. Like, and I've seen a ton of them in my like 11 years in professional wrestling.
Hey, I mean, at the end of the match, Trey Miguel was visually in tears. Just shows you just how incredible a match it was, and just it was what personally, quite honestly, and I say that it was my favorite match of the entire weekend. I watched it back as well with a couple of friends who just thought it was the most incredible lucha match they've ever seen, and they love lucha wrestling, so they have like a whole well of knowledge when it comes to lucha wrestling. And it's incredible to me that I could watch back that match and then still have the same reactions, some of them even audibly, as to the ones I was having on commentary, because that was an incredible match. It's unbelievable.
So if you haven't seen it, the French Adors, Egla Blanc and Senza Volto teamed with Commander to defeat the team of Ares, Trey Miguel, and interestingly, Fuminori Abe.
There was a Lucha Abe chant, all right? That's all.
There really was. So, yeah, just crazy. And, you know, from what I hear of it, when asked about this match, Fuminori Abe replied to some of our guys backstage and just went, "They crazy." And he's right. They were crazy. They were all crazy. But this match was insane. The outpouring of emotion and support and love from the wXw fans in attendance in Oberhausen was just overwhelming. As you said, Trey Miguel, like, visibly in tears, as, you know, the amount of money which was thrown into the ring, which is, you know, very much a tradition in Lucha Libre to show your appreciation for the efforts of the wrestlers you've just seen, and just so well deserved by these 6 men.
Without a doubt. Hey, if I wasn't that super far away on the balcony, I'd be throwing my money in there too. But genuinely an incredible match. Like, if there's any reason, honestly, if there's any reason for me to try to convince you to become a member and Mitglied Werden, whatever, and watch wXw, it is that match. Legitimately, if you sign up, watch that match, and then sign out again, I'm happy. You know what? Just, I'm sure, you know, just an incredible match. Just do that.
Yeah, definitely. As Sebastian says, it was simply amazing, and not only his second favorite match of the weekend, but his second favorite match of the year so far. Huge. Out of interest, Sebastian, what is your favorite match of the year so far? And as Dan says, that sky-high top rope dive by Abe was insane.
Yeah, it was a flying Irabu punch.
Yeah, glorious, absolutely glorious. I was literally losing my mind on the balcony directing this match, trying to figure out where they were going next, so, you know, I could tell our camera team where I needed them for shots, and it was, man, insane.
If it makes you feel any better, our guest referee Yuki Lee also didn't know where to stand the entire match to avoid the massive bodies just flying around all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely insane. What a fun match. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. I know I've said that 100 times before. I'll say it 100 more. You have to watch this match. You have to. It's so good. Anyway, I'll calm down.
All right, chill, Mark. All right, chill. Your heart pills. Come on.
But then, okay, we move on to the tournament final. Shigehiro Irie, Axel Tischer, the finals of 16 Carat Gold 2023 with the vacant wXw Unified World Wrestling title on the line. Wow, what a contest.
I don't have words for it. It was such an incredible match, and even more incredible to see Shigehiro Irie finally pick up the victory at a 16 Carat Gold tournament. But not only that, but also the Unified World Wrestling Championship. After so many years of trying his best and trying his hardest to win that championship, to win that tournament, he not only wins the tournament, but he also wins the championship in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
And potentially the greatest 16 Carat Gold we've ever had, and definitely the one that broke our wXw attendance records for it. It's what a weekend it was for him and for Fuminori Abe by the same token.
Again, like the outpouring of emotion from the fans after Irie picked up that victory was just incredible. Like people crying in the crowd, just tears of pure joy. It was absolutely incredible. And for Shiggy, who has professed his love for Germany and German wrestling and the German wrestling fans for so many years, to finally reach the pinnacle of German wrestling and become the wXw Unified World Wrestling Champion. Incredible. I'm so happy for Shiggy. I'm so happy for the fans. I'm so happy for us at wXw being able to say, this is our guy. This is our champion. He's so damn amazing. So
Shigehiro Irie is one of the best performers in the world, one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, and that tournament proves it. If anybody had any doubts, watch it. That is what an incredible weekend for Shigehiro Irie. And Sebastian says it, nobody deserves it more than Shigehiro Irie. I fully agree with you. He's put in so much work, and he grinded and he fought so hard through the entire tournament to come out on top and to win. What a great performance.
Yeah, superb. And what a weekend in Oberhausen. I was pretty exhausted, but I had very little time to do anything about it because I had to quickly go into post-production to get everything up on wXwNOW 2.0. So please watch those shows, enjoy those shows. And then 1 week later, I found myself traveling down to Nanterre in Paris for the wXw and APC Fight for Paris free show. And as exhausted as I was from, already doing 7 shows this month or last month, I was energized the minute I got there. APC, phenomenal company to work with, great friends of ours. And this was a really fun show with a red hot crowd. The audience there that APC has, superb. If you ever get a chance to get to an APC show, do it. I thoroughly recommend it. And all you got to do to find out why is watch this show back on wXwNOW 2.0. Anything to add there, Matt Dimassi?
Wow, I was letting you go. I mean, you hit all the... Hey, seriously, APC is such an incredible friend. I'm so excited to finally, now that I can finally travel around Europe, I'm so excited to head to France at some point and get to watch an APC show live. Those of you who aren't that close to France, like you said, wXwNOW 2.0, that's your place. You can watch the Fight Forever show. Fight for Paris 3 with APC. Incredible event, incredible crowd. And Dan is saying it there. He loved the event. The French crowd is just incredible.
Yeah, definitely. So we had the Fight for Paris tournament, 4 semi-finals, then 1 final, elimination style. Quick results here. In the first round, Kuro beat Tristan Archer by disqualification. Norman Harris beat Mecca and Ravage in a freeway, the only freeway of the tournament. Tiago Montero beat Amal. And Peter Tahani was able to defeat Joseph Fenech Jr. in what was probably my favorite match of the whole show. Absolutely phenomenal contest. If you only bother watching one match from this show, make sure it's that one. It's incredible.
I have to agree. That match was incredible, and just 2 guys who are absolute treats to watch in that ring. Go, yeah.
Great. Non-tournament action, Ahura was able to secure a victory over Christianium Lasurrealist. APC title match, Rick Zahn retained over Metahan. Metahan, who interestingly still receives a lot of support there down in the French capital. Maybe not too sure why. Maybe they just hate Salem more than they hate Metahan.
The devil you know.
Yeah.
I guess the devil you don't know in this case. The devil you don't know.
Yeah, potentially. The wXw Unified World Wrestling title was on the line originally, scheduled to be a singles contest against Egg LeBlanc, but this was turned into a three-way match, also featuring A-Buck. Shigehiro Irie able to retain in his first defense there with APC, and then we went into the Fight for Paris 3 four-way elimination match. Thiago Monteiro able to secure victory after eliminating first Norman Harris, then Peter Tahani, and finally Kuro. Thiago Monteiro able to secure all three eliminations in this match.
A hat trick.
I'm not a big fan of the way Thiago Monteiro conducts himself, but he was impressive on this night.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
I have to agree. You know, you take your opportunities as soon as you get them, and he took those opportunities. He managed to roll up both Norman Harris and Peter Tihani, and then he managed to hit Kuro with the bird cage to secure that victory.
Mm-hmm.
Respect him or not, the man came out on top.
Yeah, again, those tactics worked, whether we like them or we don't like them. But then we roll on. So then just 1 week after Paris, we are back at the Butch Cup in Frankfurt for We Love Wrestling 43 16 Carat Gold Revenge.
I love me that Frankfurt crowd. I love the
Yeah.
Butch Cup so much. The crowd is, I know, it's always so rompous and lovely. It's so incredible to sit up there and listen to the crowd in Frankfurt.
Yeah, amazing venue, amazing fans, and an amazing show for those people there in Frankfurt. So Tristan Archer beat Alex Duke in our Fight Forever match, which is available for free here on YouTube.
Go ahead and watch it. Tristan Archer, I've said it there, one of Europe's best wrestlers against one of Germany's up-and-coming best wrestlers as well, and Alex Duke. Just an incredible match between the present and potentially the future of professional wrestling in Germany.
Definitely. So then we had a shotgun title match. Lawrence Roman able to retain with some questionable tactics, as always, against Egg LeBlanc. Robert Dreisker providing the assist with that protective mask he's been forced to wear by the doctors.
For the second time.
Mm-hmm.
For the second time. That's how the Arrows also captured their tag team championships.
Yeah, of course, which we failed to mention. I do wonder how long it's going to be that we continue to let Robert Dreisker be at ringside with this protective mask that he's using as a weapon, but we'll see, especially since we're without a director of sports right now. I guess that makes things a little more awkward, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so, but until then, I'm not going to tell Robert Dreisker not to be at ringside. The man could beat me up in like 7 ways to Sunday.
Ain't that the truth? Singles action, Ava Everett defeated Amal, and again indicates that she wants a shot at that wXw Women's Championship.
Hey, that's one way to show that you're still gunning for that championship. That's, you know what I mean? Just, I can't wait. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens next in the women's division. What happens next? Who's next to challenge Baby Allison, and what comes of all of that? It's just going to be incredible.
Yeah. Moving on, we had tag team action as the Arrows of Hungary in non-title action were able to beat the team of Anil Merrick and Ilya Bloom. And Neil still struggling here. Robert Dreisker again with the distraction. Not so much physical this time, more psychological, I guess. Playing mind games with poor Anil.
That's just, it just shows you just how far and deep into Anil's mind he is. The fact that he's just showed his face, and Anil is petrified. He can't act or react at all again, and tags in Ilya Bloom, and then can't muster up the strength to be on the apron. It's insane just how traumatized Anil is from this entire experience with Robert Dreisker.
Yeah, as you know, I already said, it's really worrying, and I really hope Anil can put himself together, sooner rather than later. I hate to see him going through what he's going through right now.
You hate to see it, especially somebody with as much talent as Anil is so young in his career.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he gets over that bend. That's all I'm gonna say. Because it's a cutthroat business.
It is, sadly. But as we move on, we had the women's title match. Allison catching her rematch against Baby Allison. Last time we were in Frankfurt, Allison able to defeat Baby Allison. History would not repeat itself here tonight. Baby Allison able to walk out and keep her hands on that women's title.
Well done for Baby Allison. I mean, the home crowd advantage didn't work to her advantage last time, or at least it wasn't as big of an advantage as she would have wanted last time that these two faced head to head. But she managed to keep that championship around her waist. And like I said, I'm excited to see what the future of the women's division is going to look like.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we had a best of 5 series match. So Peter Tahani, after being on in that losing effort to Axel Tischer on night 3 of Carat, said he wanted a best of 5 against Axel, even though he's already lost Axel 3 times now in singles competition here in wXw. Peter Tahani wants to prove himself and prove he is, one of the best in Europe, much like Axel is. And this match, wow. Loved this match.
Hey, Peter Tahani and Axel Tischer 5 times. Sign me up. The beauty of it is, up to 5 times, of course.
Yeah.
If Tischer manages to win the next 2 matches after securing that first victory, then it'll be quite short-lived. But
yeah,
regardless of whether it's a sweep or whether we go to 4 matches, 5 matches, I have to say I respect Peter Tahani's decision, because we spent the past year, don't want to say tooting his horn, but singing his praises as one of the best up-and-coming talents in Europe.
Yeah.
And it's a statement of intent, and he said it himself. I don't want to be one of the best up-and-coming talents in Europe. I want to prove that I'm already one of the best talents in Europe, and the best way I'm going to do that is by going head-to-head with the best in Europe and trying to beat them in a 5-match series.
Yeah.
Best of 5 series. I'm excited. I can't wait to see who comes out on top in this series.
I mean, as well, knowing Peter Tahani, even if he ends up losing this in 3 straight matches, I'm sure he's going to learn something. I'm sure he's going to come back stronger. And I'm sure he's going to be a better wrestler out of the other side of this, whether he's able to win this, whether he loses this, whatever happens. I think after this best of 5, Peter Tahani is going to come out stronger and better than he went into this match series.
A new level, a new gear, baby.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So next we were scheduled to have a 4-on-4 tag team match, but at the very start of the show, I said at the very start of the show, before the show, Dan Mowen was interviewing some of the crew. He wanted to try something out for a YouTube video. And unfortunately, he come across an injured Nathaniel backstage, who, from what I can recall, it sounded like he was saying that Metahan and his family had attacked him.
I definitely heard that's what I heard, at least. And it does. I mean, I want to say it surprises me. It really doesn't. But that leads up to this match becoming a 4-on-3 match instead.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we up on the production balcony didn't have too much news from backstage, but we were hoping Lavagna was going to be fit for it. Sadly, he wasn't. But 4-on-3 handicap match. Jörn Simmons and the Only Friends, Bobby Guns and Michael Knight, were able to defeat the team of Metahan, Norman Harris, Rambo, and Safar Amin when Jörn Simmons decided to pile drive the life out of Safar Amin whilst maintaining eye contact with Norman Harris throughout. And I think Norman understands the message loud and clear. You're next. Hey. You were in trouble. I cannot wait to see Jörn Simmons absolutely destroy Norman Harris.
Oh boy, just please don't tease me with that. I'm too excited for it. All right, just take it easy. I'm gonna level my expectations and hopes, and as soon as that match happens, I'm gonna lose my. Can I say? I don't know. I'm gonna lose my marbles. Let's go with marbles.
Okay, that'll work. But interestingly, Jacob Crane has decided to rejoin us here. And he says, if Tahani wins the best of 5 series with the best European wrestler, I'll tweet out that I love body slams. Here it is in black and white on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Tahani, I hope you win, not just for yourself, because I think you're a phenomenal guy, phenomenal wrestler, but just so we have it here that Jacob Crane is going to tweet the world and say that he loves body slams.
But none of that asterisk. None of that asterisk.
No.
Malarkey there, all right? You have to write the O in there, too.
Yep, and you're going to have to @Psycho Mike in that tweet.
Yeah, no malarkey.
None at all. Anyway, we move on to the final contest, the final wXw match to happen in the month of March. Street fight, Frankfurt street fight, Uhura against Maggot.
Oh, boy. I mean,
this was something.
As a precursor to that, it was after Uhura was thrown out of the tournament. He challenged Maggot, or he took a few moments to take a few digs at Maggot, which led up to Maggot attacking him from behind at 16 Carat Gold and challenging him to this match.
Mm-hmm.
And match, that's a cute way of calling it. We even had their mentor, the man who trained and taught both of these men for the last 10 years, Aaron Insane, at ringside, who gave his thoughts to our colleague Dan Malman. And my God, those two just utterly destroyed each other in that main event.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable at times. It was brutal. These two guys weren't holding anything back.
I mean, it just also it's just another thing that you can add to the list. Just the actions of Uhura in that match, attacking both Baby Allison and Aaron Insane's his mentor, the man who's taught him for the past 10 years.
Yeah, he turned up with a broken hand and attacks that broken hand. Again, like we speak about her again, the despicable acts that man has committed in the month of March alone. It's horrific.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, after a hellacious fight, Maggot manages to pick up the victory, and what a way to close off the month of March.
Yeah, it was. Man, what a show. What 9 incredible shows. Just
crazy to think it's not over. We're up in Dresden on the 22nd. Oh.
Well, it's April now. It's no longer March. The month of March is done.
Yeah, the month of March is done, but that calendar year is still running. We still got a lot of wrestling ahead of us, baby.
And I'm fine with that. I'm looking forward to it. It's starting to get to the point where it's like, okay, I've had 2 weekends off now. I'm a little bit bored. I want to do something.
Well, you're about to do a lot of something. And then I'm excited to listen to you complain about how much work you have to do.
Always. Yeah, but let's talk briefly about upcoming shows, because there is a lot coming up on our calendar. So our very next event, as Matt just mentioned there, True Colors, which is going to be in Dresden on April 22nd. We haven't had too much announced yet, have we? I need to check. I really haven't been keeping up with things.
The one thing for sure is the fact that we're going to have the second bout in the match between Axel Tischer in the best of 5 series between Axel Tischer and Peter Tihanyi, notably in Dresden, which is Axel Tischer's hometown. So for Peter Tihanyi is
really walking into the Lions Den there.
The Wolf's Den, actually.
Yeah, the Wolf's Den. Very right. But also, I've just pulled up the matches here on my second screen here. World Tag Team Championship, Arrows against Frenchadors. The Frenchadors cashing in their rematch as soon as they can here in Dresden. Women's Championship on the line. Baby Allison against Ava Everett. Shotgun Championship match. Lawrence Roman against Maggot. Maggot finally cashing in his rematch for the Shotgun Championship that he lost all the way back in January at Back to the Roots. We are going to see a rematch between Tristan Archer and Mike D. That's going to be fun. Oh, always. And the Only Friends are taking on the team of Ilya Bloom and Nick Schreier. I don't know if that's the whole card. I imagine there might be 1 or 2 more matches to be announced. We'll see. Nobody tells me these things until the day of the show, so I have no idea.
Hey, you're above me on the hierarchy, so if you don't know, I got no clue.
Oh, of course. But that's going to be a fun show in Dresden at the Stromwerk. Looking forward to being back there. Great venue, great city. Should be a real fun show. Then on the 12th of May, we are back at the Markthalle in Hamburg for our 30th show at the Markthalle. Already confirmed for this show. Unified World Wrestling Championship, Shigehiro Irie against Mike D.
There we go. We got our championship match right there. I'm so excited to see that.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
It's going to be something. Also, the third match in the Best of 5 series, Peter Tahani against Axel the Axeman Tischer.
Potentially the last match.
It could be the last match. I mean, I hope it's not the last match. I'd love to see Tahani win this thing. I don't think it's going to be an easy feat for him to do so. I mean, it's Axel Tischer, but I'd love to see him win this. And the Markthalle, phenomenal venue. Always a great time there. We're also in Papenburg on the 13th of May. No matches announced yet, but if you were in Papenburg last year, that was superb, really fun show. And on the 20th of May, we return to Oberhausen for Fan 2023. And I saw this was announced earlier today. I don't know if anyone else caught it. Assuming Shigehiro Irie retains in Hamburg, he will be defending that title against the debuting Michael Oku.
One of the hottest free agents.
Yes, that is going to be something else. And I'm so looking forward to this. Jörn Simmons gets his hands on Norman Harris.
As the English people would say, get in there! Get in there! God, I'm so excited for that match. Can I have maybe that match off and just watch from the first row? Come on.
No. You got a job to do.
I know, but it is so satisfying to see Norman Harris get beaten up by Jörn Simmons after all we've had to suffer.
I know. Plus, if it gets there, and I hope it gets there, we will see match 4 in the Tahani and Tischer Best of 5 series. If you're looking for tickets for any of those, I've just put the link in the chat. The links don't work, do they? And I put it up on our screen right now. It's events.wxw-wrestling.com. Yeah, have a look. You can get tickets, information on everything there. And if you're joining us from the UK, actually, don't forget on May the 27th, we are bringing We Love Wrestling to London, to the Dome at Tufnell Park. I don't believe any matches are confirmed right now, but if it gets there, again, I really hope it gets there. The final match in the Best of 5 series between Tahani and Tischer, also set to appear, we have Shigehiro Irie, the Arrows of Hungary, Lawrence Roman, Michael Oku, Peter Tahani, Maggot, LSG, and Trish Adora. It's going to be an incredible show. I cannot wait to be back in London. It's going to be a lot of fun. Events.wxw-wrestling.com. May's going to be a busy month. I am looking forward to it.
I am so looking forward to it. I'll be done with all of my my other engagements, my 9 to 5, and I'm so excited for May and for all the events. It'll be just like that lovely little cherry on top.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Okay, I think we've probably gone on for long enough this evening, Matt. So we should probably think about wrapping this thing up.
I'm not rapping. I'm not a rap artist. What do I look like, man? Like the Reese?
No, not at all. Any final words or thoughts you'd like to share with our fans here about everything that's happened in March and where we're headed in April, May, and beyond?
I mean, to quote my good friend Buzz Lightyear, to infinity and beyond. You guys have seen what happened in March, or at least you've heard it now. If you haven't seen it yet, then sign up and go watch it, because my God, was that one hell of a weekend and one hell of a month. What's coming up is just exciting. I'm not even going to try to predict where it goes or what happens or whatever, because I'm just going to let things ride and just going to enjoy it. And I hope whichever one of people, you of home, not coming with us for the ride, that you guys, thank you for putting that up right there. I hope that whichever people of you aren't coming with us for the ride, you guys change your mind, because it's not too late.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy couple of months. There's so much happening. I'm so excited to be seeing Shiggy as our champion, confirmed for several events. I'm hoping he has, a very long and prosperous run with that title. And yeah, if you want to see anything, for a second or third time, sign up now to wXwNOW 2.0. Hit that button below this video. Join, if you're in English, Mitglied Werden for our German friends. You won't regret it. Only €9.99 per month. And you've got access to a whole host of content. I think we've got every event on there now from 2020 to today. That's a whole ton of events. And there's going to be a whole lot more dropping over the coming weeks, over the coming months, and the coming years with wXw.
Yes, sir. Another tip of the hat to everybody that's uploading all the events and migrating everything to wXwNOW 2.0. As you said, 2020 and up, it's all up there. So you guys can go get on that time machine and watch some wXw from 2020, or rewatch 16 Carat Gold.
Yep, some insane action, some phenomenal shows, some incredible wrestlers. Don't miss out. But thank you all very much for joining us here this evening. Thank you to my broadcast partner, Marc Mett Dimassi. My name is Mark Shuttle, and we will see you here again, same time next week, 8 p.m. Germany, 7 p.m. UK, and we're going to be joined by a very, very special guest. I was hoping they were going to confirm with me during the course of this broadcast. Sadly, they haven't. They've seen the message. They haven't got back to me yet. But we're going to have a very special guest with us here next week. So don't miss it. Join us. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Yeah, I can't wait.
You teased me all up. I thought I was going to find out who the new guest was, but I guess we'll wait. We'll have some. I guess we'll learn. I've learned to handle your teasing after the last time before it's 16 Carat Gold. But you guys are going to want to see who it is, because if I know Mark, he's got one hell of a surprise ready for you guys.
Yes, I do. And as soon as I can confirm them, I'll be announcing it on Twitter. So keep your eyes peeled to Twitter. You'll find out. Thank you all very much for joining us here this evening, and we'll see you again next week.